And good morning, folks, as you join us on day 2 of our little adventure down in Rye. So as we get up now and just before breakfast, we're just going to have a wander around the pub while it's nice and quiet. Yesterday evening was too busy to kind of do any real exploring. So we're sat here in the dining room now, and me and Mrs. Beard had a lovely breakfast. I had smoked salmon, I had eggs, and it was absolutely delicious. And here we're now going into the main room of the bar at the back of the pub to see the giant fireplace where the infamous Hawkers gang made their home here all those years ago. And somewhere up there in the depths of the chimney breast is actually a priest hole. So priests would hide up there during the persecution, hide away from the law. Taking a look now into Dr. Sin's lounge. Here on the walls and on our fireplace there are carvings from Catholic priests fleeing to the continent at the time of the Reformation.
There's only 2 rooms up there. So that, folks, is the historic Mermaid Inn. Just had breakfast. It was very delicious. We are just packing up now and getting ready to pack the car, and then we're going to have a wander around the town and then make the long journey back home. So we'll carry on having a look around. Didn't experience anything weird last night, although Kerry heard some banging, which may have been the pipes. It sounded like it was in the room somewhere, apparently. Oh, but yeah, marvellous place. Really old, and just found some really old graffiti as well down on the fireplace from 1643. So I think that's my new favourite thing, is going around these historic buildings and looking for the graffiti, the oldest graffiti that there is, like there was in Rye Castle of 1673, I think it was. So yeah, fantastic place to stay. Really old, creaky, as you'd expect from a kind of a 14th century building, or a 15th century building rather. Yeah, happy days.
I went to walk, he was there.
She's such a moody ass in the morning. That's what she is, look at her. Being all moody. Perched on the edge of East Sussex coast, Rye Castle, also known as Ypres Tower, stands as a silent witness to the centuries of war, piracy and clandestine dealings. Its weathered stone walls have absorbed the echoes of battle cries, the whispers of smugglers and the final gasps of the condemned. The story of Rye Castle begins in the 13th century, a time when the Cinque Ports, Rye included, were England's first line of defence against the French invaders. Rye, a bustling port town, was a prime target, and in 1249 Ypres Tower was built to repel attacks. Yet, despite its imposing walls, the town was sacked by the French in 1377. Fires raged, homes were pillaged, and invaders dragged away the church bells as trophies of war. By the 18th century, smuggling had become the town's lifeblood, and Rye Castle, once a fortress of justice, found itself surrounded by corruption. The infamous Hawker's gang, a ruthless band of smugglers, ruled the area, striking terror into the hearts of anyone who dared oppose them. Through the centuries, Ypres Tower transformed from a defensive stronghold into a prison, where the walls dripped with the despair of those awaiting execution. The cells, cramped and damp, held thieves, murderers and political prisoners. Some went to the gallows screaming, others simply disappeared. The most chilling part of Rye Castle remains the women's tower, where female prisoners languished, some accused of witchcraft. The ghost of a sorrowful woman in white is said to haunt the tower, her presence felt in the chill that lingers even on the warmest days. This is the ground where kings bled, where England's fate was sealed in a storm of steel and fire. Welcome to Battle Abbey, the hallowed site of the most decisive battle in English history, the Battle of Hastings, 1066. The year is 1066. England stands divided. King Edward the Confessor is dead, leaving behind a crown coveted by three men: Harold Godwinson, the English noble, William, Duke of Normandy, and the Viking king, Harold Hardrada. As Harold defeats the Vikings at the Battle of Stamford Bridge, he celebrates, but word reaches him a new storm is coming. William has landed in the south. October 14th, 1066. Two great armies stand face to face on Senlac Hill, now the grounds of Battle Abbey. Harold's Saxons form an unbreakable shield wall, a living fortress of spears and iron. Below them, William's Normans, knights, archers and warriors, hungry for conquest. The battles begin. Arrows darken the sky. Norman cavalry charge, but the Saxon shield wall holds strong, unyielding. Again and again, William's men hurl themselves against it, only to be thrown back, broken and bloodied. Then, a trick, a desperate gamble. William feigns retreat. The Saxons, believing victory is theirs, breaks ranks, chasing their fleeing enemy, but it is a trap. The Norman knights wheel around, cutting down Harold's men in a ruthless counter-attack. As the sun begins to set, the battlefield is a sea of dead and dying. Then, in the chaos, an arrow finds its mark. King Harold falls. The English resistance shatters, and in that moment, England is lost. In victory, William the Conqueror honours the fallen enemy. He orders the construction of an abbey, right here upon the blood-soaked hill where Harold died. This is Battle Abbey, a monument to war, to conquest, to destiny. The high altar, placed upon the very spot where Harold's body was found, stands as a ghostly reminder of the day England changed forever. Today, Battle Abbey stands in silence, but listen closely, and you may still hear the clashes of swords, the cries of fallen warriors, the ghosts of an empire born in blood. This is the Battle of Hastings. This is where history was written in steel and sorrow.